Hello and welcome. My name is Eva. I am a hypnotherapist and therapist who works with people struggling with insomnia and fears and phobias, anxiety. I also work with people who are traumatized and help them to heal heal the traumas. So our my last video was about mother wounding, and we have looked closer how overthinking is born, and I explained in that video what mother wounding is. And today we are going to look at something that also is a byproduct of mother wounding, a byproduct of trauma, which is called hypervigilance and burnout. So those are completely two things, however they are very connected together. So last time we looked at the uh, at a story of a child. Today we are going to look at something else. I'm going to give you a story, and if you see yourself in it, fantastic. If you don't, maybe there is somebody else who should hear the story, and maybe this video will help that person. So let's look at a child who is not overthinking, but the child who from very early age has become very strong and very independent. But independence and strength uh, brought a lot of isolation and a lot of loneliness. So this little girl or this little boy didn't ask for any help because help was not needed. He thought or she thought that I don't need help. Obviously every child needs help because we as children don't have tools to help ourselves with a lot of things, whether they are physical or emotional or spiritual. So this person didn't cry too much, it was brave. This little child just handled things. And because it happened in a very early age, this person felt that something is not right here, but just couldn't put the finger on it. Because how a few-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old child can. It doesn't understand what's happening around it. So last time we said about mother wounding, about mother who is very emotionally unavailable, who carries a lot of trauma herself, who repeats the uh, generational karma, which means her patterns are the same as the patterns of her mother were. The way of behavior, the way of bringing up a child or children is exactly the same. So, unfortunately, traumatized mothers bring up traumatized children. It cannot be any otherwise. So, this child from very early age knew that something is not right. This is unsafe environment that I brought up in. I am very lonely. I don't understand that. And everything comes down to one thing, not having predictability to actually assess what's going to happen next. And this is all what's happening with the mother wound. Mother's wound, one of the signatures is I don't know what's going to happen next, because usually mother wound comes with neglect, whether that's emotional neglect, whether this is physical neglect, whether this is spiritual neglect. Any neglect can happen, whether that is lack of being fed, lack of being hugged, lack of being protected as a child, and a lack that a mother, a nurturer, needs to bring to us. And when we look closer at mothers like that who are traumatized, they are usually mothers who are massively overwhelmed. They are mothers who need a lot of support themselves. So if they need support themselves, they don't have any idea how to give support to a child. It's a mother who is emotionally struggling. And usually it's a mother who is emotionally unavailable. So this is the mother, but the home that the mother creates and a father creates is very tense or very cold. It's the It's sometimes can be one direction or the other direction. So one direction is very unpredictable, unsafe, and very heavy, a lot of silence there. Or another direction can be a mother is overdoing things. So a mother is training a child to be a parent to her. A mother is giving too much affection. A mother is too controlling. So we can have one spectrum where there is coldness and emotional unavailability, when we really, when a child is left to its own devices. Or we have another one when it is too much of control, and mom is too attached to a child and cannot actually balance out giving him or her a space and actually to be a child and to experience things in his or her way. But unfortunately, the children who come from very cold houses or too hot houses feel and they learn one thing, and this one thing is embedded in the body already. It's not the brain that is an issue here, it's the body and energy. So it usually is, I have to be the one who holds this together. So if a mother is a hot mother in a way, like really overprotective, really over controlling, really it's everything is too much, a child needs to hold this for a mother as well, because a child knows that this is not, something is not working here. Obviously, a child does not understand what, because we don't have capacity to understand when we are 7 or 6, right? What is happening with our parents. And the same is when you come from an available mom, you can sense it. And we said this in the previous video, how children sense things energetically, how they observe and watch and collect data from the parents, from the caregivers. So the bottom line of here is the pattern that is already learned in childhood, and the pattern is um hypervigilance. The pattern is a burnout. A pattern is loneliness. A pattern is super independence. A pattern is, um, I would say, people pleasing, but that comes from, I wouldn't say people pleasing is, well, it depends on the person, obviously, but people pleasing is more with overthinkers. Because hypervigilant and burnout children are children who are not attached emotionally to people in the future, because they usually are lonely children, well, lonely adults, and and they are quite distant as well. So this is what characteristics we have from the mother wound, and then let's look deeper how the hypervigilance actually in the childhood is born. So we have this hypervigilant child or burnout child. Burnout means I'm doing things on my own because there is no one to help me. Um, Hypervigilant, I am not aware why my environment, I don't understand why my environment is so unsafe. So it can be environment of very high abuse, physical or emotional. Um, So the child becomes hyper aware very early, watching everything, feeling everything, anticipating everything. Insomnia kicks in, doesn't sleep very well at night, things like that. And in psychology, it's called like fight or flight response. And this is where the energy positions itself in the root chakra. The one chakra that I always talk about a lot. Why is that? Because this is the place of our safety and security. So if from early, very early age, we are taught that the life that we are having, the environment that we are in, especially home, which is the root of everything of our safety, then it creates an avoidant attachment style. So we will keep people at distance, whether that is in a relationship, whether it's with a friend, whether it's a very close relationship with a husband, with a partner, with whoever. We are always going to be an avoidant person, because this is what the pattern from childhood has taught us. So our nervous system stays constantly in survival mode. So it's a constant scanning, it's a constant alertness, it's a constant readiness, it's a constant, I have to be on my own. It's constant, I can deal with it on my own. I don't want to bother my mom. I don't want to bother my dad. I don't want to bother anyone because actually it's not the child that is an issue, but the environment and the adults are, because they are just not ready to be for a child. And this is what the problem is here. So those children learn very quickly how to survive, and unfortunately this energy comes from childhood to adulthood. So let's look at this independent child. So hypervigilant kid is very independent kid, fighting, fighting for survival, fight or flight mode, looking after siblings or looking after mom, or protecting mom from abusive dad. A lot of things can happen there. Everybody's story is different. Or you simply had quite cold house, right? So it didn't have to be um super chaotic, but you had a cold house, but no one actually bothered to see that you exist. So you were this unseen child, or you were a child when you had to be taught to be independent, because success is something that is very important in your family. So successful children are not the children that they want to be a successful because they don't care about success. It's the pattern of the parents that they take on, because parents want the children to be successful, and they don't know how to balance it out. So let's look at characteristic of this independent person and why is that so important. So this independent person is super responsible one. Usually very mature for her or his age. It's always the protector. It always whether it's not protecting himself, it's always protecting somebody, and needs a lot of emotional support. But also gives a lot of emotional support. Is a person who wears a lot of masks, and will fight for siblings, would fight for the mother, uh, will believe that it's great to be independent, but actually this is not the freedom. It is trauma based. So it is not protection of yourself. It goes a little deeper. Comes to the point where the child had no one to lean on, when the child had no one to get support from, when the child had nobody to protect them. So that's why the coping mechanism in the body has learned one thing: I have to protect only myself, because there is no other choice, because there is no other person there for me. So with people like that, I always say everything is energy, and our body is an energetic body, and whatever happened in your childhood, your body remembers, and it's hidden in your emotional and cellular memory. It's not the brain that only remembers. Brain has got memories, but brain has got also a very great way of forgetting a lot of things. So yes, conscious mind will remember what it wants to remember and will protect you from what needs to protect you. It's the subconscious mind that stores all the data and anything good or bad. So that's why hypnotherapy is one of the way to dig deep into your memories, because a lot of people who come from quite chaotic and disturbing houses, when there was a lot of abuse at any possible way, they forget the childhood. They don't remember a lot of things. I have a lot of clients who don't remember the childhood at all. So now that is for me the greatest indication of something really, really abusive on a very deep level happened there. So the subconscious mind shut down the memory to protect an adult from reliving it. But what the problem is the energy in the body, because it's the body that remembers, it's the body that stores trauma, and it's the body that stores trauma in energy systems and in your organs. So when we talk about being a burnout person or hypervigilant person, we are talking about, as usually, root chakra, which is in relationship um, to safety and security, money, ancestral lineage. It's a lot there. But also here comes solar plexus chakra, which is belly area, and this is where the power and control has been taken away from us. So the person usually, like, who is a hypervigilant and who goes through burnout quite a lot, who works and works a lot, who wants to help the world, who wants to help the friends, who want to help people all the time. So it's usually a very anxious person who doesn't know how to protect himself anymore, who is in the pattern, in the need to show the world. If I show the world real me, then maybe somebody will love me. Then, well, somebody will appreciate me because I was not appreciated in the past. So it's a very tense energy, and this person is always on. A lot of people with burnout and hypervigilant type are people who suffer from insomnia, suffer from massive anxiety. So your system in the body learned one thing: if I don't stay alert, something will go wrong. That's why they have to hold everything together, and they do not understand that by doing things all the time without bringing balance between rest and doing, working and resting, they actually killing the body very slowly. So from hypervigilance to burnout, what's happening there? Your nervous system cannot stay like this forever. It is impossible. One day you are going to crash. Um, and it happened to me. I come from a family when I went through a lot of times when I was burned out and went through crisis with my body, because my programming was go, go, go. I was super independent child. I came from a very cold home, from a mother wounding that was very emotionally unavailable. So what it taught me was I had to just rely on myself, but it came with very, very big price to my body. So research shows that chronic stress, because burnout people, hypervigilant person, people are really, really stressed people because they have always something to do. So they will exhaust the nervous system to almost having so many illnesses. um, there is emotional shutdown. They cannot connect very well with friends. They cannot connect with the family, and they don't even understand it. I work with a lot of clients like that who always tell me, I have great marriage, I had great childhood, I had this, I had that, and when we go deeper, it's actually it wasn't that great, and it's not the fault. It's just the coping mechanism that they still carry in the body. They are very they go through avoidant attachment style. So we are breaking this while they are coming to me, and we're going through healing. And they are very disconnected people because they do not understand that the body is suffering. So it's the pattern that is pushing them to doing more and more and more, and they are killing themselves in the process. So we have to remember one thing here, guys, that the mother wound, that is the core reason for that, is just not the weakness. Hypervigilant people, overthinkers, people who suffer from insomnia, people who are depressed or suffer from high anxiety. This is all one thing. It was lack of emotional safety in the past. They are actually very strong people because they still keep going. They do not fall apart. They don't know how to really fall apart. So what really falls apart is the nervous system and the body, because the body gives them more and more illnesses. They have panic attacks. They have breakdowns and things like that. So things are that are not always visible. they don't do it intentionally. So if you are like that, or you know your friend who is like that, give this person a lot of compassion and show this person this video. So because everything goes really, really deep. The trauma in the body that you carry or somebody's carry who is a burnout person, a hypervigilant person. So it comes down to emotional memory and cellular memory from the childhood. And uh, nothing can change that until you understand this. It has got nothing to do with your logic. It has got nothing to do with psychology. Everything is stored in your body. So when we look at a resolution to that, okay, we have to look at one thing. People like that, people who go through, who are burnout people, I call them. So they are doers, they constantly do. They are planners, they will, they have a million of things to do. They don't understand one thing. They don't understand the value of rest and how important it is, because they didn't have the tools to use it in the past, in the childhood, and no one has given them the tools to, to use it. The body has never learned how to rest. I also come from home, and a lot of my clients come from home where they the rest was shamed. I come from home when the rest was shamed. I could not have any rest. I had to go from one activity to another. I couldn't waste my time. I had to be massively busy all the time. And as an adult, I brought this pattern to an adulthood. And as an adult, I had a lot of issues, because I had my family, I had, my work, I had a lot of things, and I just couldn't switch off. And I was just killing my body very, very slowly. Good thing is that we can learn to flip it, to transform it, to transmute it. That will take time. That's the work. First thing is awareness and recognizing this pattern in your body. So, how you do it? As you know, I always say about meditations. I healed myself through meditations and hypnotherapy. um, I started to prepare meditations, guided meditations for people. I started with my clients. I've been doing this for many years, and I bring safety to the body. I talk to um emotional and cellular memory. So I transform what needs to be there, release and let go of the trauma from the past. So I have prepared the meditations, they are there, but I have prepared the quiz. Please do look at the quiz. The quiz is going to tell you exactly which type you are. Which type you are, whether you are an overthinker, whether you are hypervigilant, whether you go through burnout easily and very often, whether you have problems with inner child, which is very, very difficult type, because it went through massive emotional neglect. So, our body shows us our trauma in completely different ways. Everyone is different. So please look at that. Please look at meditations. And if you really struggle and you really, really think that, you know, hypervigilance, lack of sleep, lack of rest is something that you don't know what to do, but you would like to, you have to slow down. And our lives are very busy, but you can slow down. I have done that, and the world did not fall apart. Uh, and you can do it too. So look into those meditations, look into this quiz. Quiz is so important because it will give you so many answers. It's really, really well prepared. So thank you for today, guys, and I will see you in our next video. Bye bye.